Hey, how you guys doing? It's Producer from Brothers Comics. Welcome to our little side summer project here called Cartoons and Cereal, where we go back and essentially assault our childhood. On the line tonight, in this short season, I believe it's going to be 8 total episodes. It's Dungeon Master Beavis. Hey, what's happening, man?
Eight is going to be like if we can keep it together for eight, that could be a long run on one of these side projects.
That is very true. Also on the line, it's
Feel
the
like
other
we have the
Dungeon Master.
Dragon's Graveyard worth of unfinished podcasts somewhere.
Come
This is
on, that's not true.
the unseen Avenger.
Yeah, again, hi y'all. Modern comics suck. That's basically where we are. And they're kind of expensive. But anyway, so this one here, if we're going to kind of kick back to our Saturday morning lifestyle, we grew up in a situation where, Saturday morning was really the day to get to, where school was over for the week and you couldn't wait to sit in front of the TV and watch cartoons. This is in that era before, as
You
much as
should
I
have been
love it,
doing our
Saved by the
homework.
Bell killed cartoons. Yeah, well, Saved by the Bell killed cartoons, where cartoons became something that you couldn't see on Saturday. That's not how we grew up. We grew up where you could catch Saturday morning cartoons essentially from a 7 to 12 before educational programming became a thing. And you would just sit there and you'd find your favorite shows on NBC, CBS, there's only a couple of stations at that time, and you'd watch what you'd like. So over the course of this season, we're going to see some shows that might not necessarily been Saturday shows. They might have been after school ones as well. But first up, and this really kind of started when one of the voice actors on this show, Adam Rich, died on the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon from 1983. This is kind of when Hutch and I had kind of brought this up. And so we're going to go through Dungeons and Dragons, the episode 1, which is the pilot episode, and we'll do a watch along for that. Any hot takes on cereal? It is cartoons and cereal. Now we're old now, or older. That's better. Do you
We're
still
talking
fuck
about
with
shit that's
cereal?
40
Do
years
you still?
old.
But do you
Yes,
still fuck with cereal? Like, can you?
Ye- I
You can
need
still
I need a
mess with cereal.
disguise.
Come on, you can still mess with cereal, brother. Come on, Dungeon Master Beavis. Can you still mess with cereal, sir?
So, we always have cereal in the house, but I got to make sure to like seal it up extra tight because it doesn't get eaten frequently. But like my go-to, like something that is doesn't make intellectually makes it feel good and is actually pretty decent is a multigrain Cheerio,
Oh my
because it's
lord.
kind of it's like sweeter than a regular Cheerio and allegedly makes you poop because it's got fiber in it.
Oh
But I'll
That
lord.
helps. Yeah.
occasionally get like
Yeah.
some golden grams or like I just finished off some cinnamon life. But it's like a 10 o'clock at night. I'm kind of hungry. Let me get this cereal and go to sleep. That's more like the role of cereal in my life right now.
I got two teenagers. One eats cereal dry with no milk. Y'all can
I
probably figure out
can't.
which one
I
that is.
can't.
And then the other one consumes the shit like he's Jerry Seinfeld. So I will kind of only eat on the toaster leaving scraps of whatever's there. So if there's something there that he has gotten that eat, I will mess with it. It tends to be a late night snack for me as well, but because of my gastronomical issues, I've had to go to 2%. 2% milk, lactose
Oh,
intolerant. And so
oh.
at this point, I mean, you're really just eating water and cereal. So I'll still mess with the Lucky Charms if he gets that, like that'll be there. Like he's messing with some that Reese cup cereal. I can't mess with that. Now
Hmm.
tear the top of my mouth up. I can't do that no more. So, it's just that's just not a thing. I can't really mess with it anymore. Hutch, you still out here eating real cereal, man, like a savage?
This is not Hutch. This is his roommate. Um, Chris or Hutch told me that in his youth he used to eat almost any fucking cereal that he could get his hands on, except for Product 19 and like King Vitamin. Um, and we had, and I think there's still boxes of fucking that. What's that orange shit with the champions? The What was
uh,
that shit with Bruce Jenner
Wheaties.
on it?
Wheaties.
Wheaties, yes. That
Don't
shit
dead
is
name
still
him.
in
Don't
the
dead name
fucking
him.
closet
Them.
from
Yeah.
from 1976 with the Reds winning the
Wow.
World Series on it. That shit was awful.
Mm,
Now in 2020
Yeah.
something, I believe Hutch will still fuck up some Lucky Charms, and during the holidays he'll get the monster cereals, and yes, he will fuck that shit up at 10 o'clock at
Them
night.
monster cereals are booty. Those are awful, dude. Like I love the
yeah.
idea of them. They are awful.
Yeah.
That is a
They
terrible.
Yeah,
terrible
they are
cereal.
not. Oh, and I still like my Captain Crunches. And
Oh,
yes, they fuck up your
That,
mouth.
that's the roof of your mouth is destroyed.
Yeah, your roof of your mouth is. And once you stop eating them, you got that aftertaste that you can't get rid of.
Yes. No, that's a serious night of the bubble guts. If I eat that, there's just no chance
And I
of
have
me
some of the
surviving
crazy, or he has some of the craziest dreams too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no chance of surviving that. Okay. All right. So we're gonna jump into talking about this show. I remember being so high. Okay, so we really have to do a little bit of a background here. Okay, so the two of these people are dungeon masters. They played and play Dungeons and Dragons currently. They okay, let's back up first. Okay. Hutch had black people playing Dungeons and Dragons.
This
A lot of black people.
podcast should not ever make.
No. A lot of black people playing Dungeons and Dragons. This was not a normal activity in the hood, but somehow freaking David Koresh
still
over there
ain't.
had all these
there's a
these
movie
black
there
dudes.
somewhere.
Yeah.
That's like another. That's the next Jordan Peele movie. They was playing
Oh,
D&D,
yeah.
and like some portal opened up.
Instead of
and
the next one, instead of
everybody-
nope, it'll be roll.
Yeah. So he had us out there playing Dungeons and Dragons, rolling all these weird colored dice, number
Still got 'em.
sizes and shit. You know, we drove all the way out. Name checking the
Huber
city that
Heights.
we black people was not supposed to be in, going out and buying figures to be painting and shit. Like, yo, this was after this cartoon, I would assume, right, Hutch?
This is before that cartoon. This is
Oh!
this is like 6th or 7th. Was it 6th or 7th? Wait a minute, maybe 7th or 8th grade, which is
Oh,
yeah. Hutch was telling me it was like 1981 or 2. It had to be.
Was that like
Yeah,
basic
okay.
set?
This was right. This was the basic shit. That
Oh.
right. The red books.
So you had like
I had
an
the
elf
red books
and
first.
a dwarf and a fighter and a cleric.
Right.
and-
The basic 5.
Yeah.
Right. The basic 5 with the orange dice with the crayon that you had to
you had
color
to write the
shit.
crayon. You had to mark the crayon over.
Yeah,
it to
right.
make
You
the
had to
numbers
color in the
stand out.
shit. Right. Had to read up all these rules and all these crazy pictures of shit. And yes, and you had to describe this story. I don't know how I heard about this game because that shit was not on any TV in my house.
That was not advertised in Jet magazine.
It was not advertised in Essence. It was not advertised in Jack and Jill. It might have been. May have been in comic books. It had to be. It had to be in a comic book.
Yeah, there's some. I think there's some old. When we were reviewing some of the older series, I would occasionally pull out the actual comics, and the ads were the best part. The ads were way better.
Right, the ads. The ads were the best part. I remember some green with a green slime or something, or ooze about to eat somebody, or rust.
I'm about to mail away for this box of 10 million army guys and find out they're all like a quarter-inch tall. They're like, what the fuck?
I had that shit too, but yeah. Yeah, a lot of you're right. It had to come out of a comic book.
What about them seahorses? Or them X-ray glasses? So Hutch had us out here playing, and I'm gonna name check people by their whatever. But Will didn't play, but the Hallets,
Will did not.
Sandman, like he had us out here playing Dungeons and Dragons. And I'll tell why. We've told this story before about how we stopped playing, but it was just something. So it's like, all right, well, we're playing this game. Now they're about to make a cartoon about it. Like this must be the greatest thing ever. So we're going to go through some slides if you're on YouTube before we get to the watch along portion. I remember not one of these episodes, not one. I remember also oftentimes it felt like it got preempted though.
Oh yeah.
CBS.
Got preempted a lot because of the Mothers Against Mothers Against Dungeons and Dragons, the original Mad.
Right. Yeah. It feels very
This
much
was
like
harder to
Jack
find than
Hanna.
like the UWF. Like it was,
Yeah.
it would like you said, the first episode was aired September 17th. The second episode was like December
Next year.
1st, somewhere on a Tuesday or some shit, because like, yeah, this was like, it became almost immediately legendary because it was like, wait, what? This was on last week. Where is it now?
Right.
This shit,
Yeah.
before that first
it
episode of
definitely
the
felt.
X-Men, the Pride of the X-Men, this shit was like the hardest thing to find ever.
Mhm.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's still hard to find.
And like I said, like it feels like it was like Jack Hanna's like San Diego Zoo shit would be on when it was supposed to be on. It was like, wait, it was on and then it's not. It was very weird and inconsistent. So I remember no episodes. So again, yeah, in September of '83, this premieres 27 total episodes over 3 seasons. Okay.
I know for damn sure they never showed more than 10 in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, it definitely felt like we saw the same ones continually. A co-production between Marvel Entertainment and some Japanese studio, Toei. I'm sure Sandman knows
They
about
made
that
some
one.
video games, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was like, oh, okay. And then in the past, like a long time ago, I bought Hutch like the box set, or maybe not the box set of this, but like at least
it's
some
got 9
episodes that they
episodes
had
in
all
it.
together, a DVD.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I know that's that. And Brother Beavis, you have like the whole set, right? Like you were watching it the other day.
Yeah, I have a box set of all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's
And it's
actually, I don't
still
know
in
if
the
it's in
news.
this one, but there's one of the box set like actually has like character sheets for him and shit.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I mean,
Indeed.
if you go to Target, they have like exclusive figures
Oh
from
yeah,
the characters
they
in
have
here.
like figures out now. I'm like trying hard not to bite on that. That's 20. They're like
Yeah.
25
And
bucks
then
each.
and then in the new Dungeons and Dragons movie that just
Oh,
came
yeah.
out, spoiler alert, they reference these guys. Like there's a shot of
There are
the
multiple
cartoon people in
scenes.
the movie.
Multiple
Yeah.
scenes.
So and that
Haven't
wait, have
seen
you
it.
seen that?
Oh yeah.
You saw it?
I did see it.
I still got
No,
Marlon Wayans and black elf ears in my memory.
Dungeon Master Beavis saw it. How was it? I
It
heard
was
it was
great.
good. I started it the other day.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
It's a fun watch.
Okay.
And
I need to
Jeremy
sit
Irons,
down and finish that.
I remember that shit from the other.
Yeah, it's not that.
Yeah,
The only
they've had some
downside
bad-
is it doesn't have a beholder in it. That's like the one knock I would put on it.
Yeah.
All right, so our voice actors through this: Willie Ames, he was Hank the Ranger. I think that was my favorite character throughout this whole bit.
Pimp.
Willie Ames in the '80s. What was he on?
He was on 8 is Enough.
Yeah,
It was like half the cast of 8 is Enough, I think.
Zapped.
Yeah, Zapped. Yeah, it was.
They
Scott
watch that
Baio.
shit all the time.
There was boobs in it. That's why. Boobs. There you go. Yeah, Hank. Hank the Ranger, by far my favorite character, I believe. And then I just remembered this seeing this. Donnie Most was Eric the Cavalier. This is
right. He was the Cavalier.
Ralph.
Ralph.
Yeah, I just doing the research on this. I was like, wait, Ralph was that? I didn't know. He's like the kind of the wimp character, right? Like he always runs away. I think
he's the Cavalier, right? Or
yeah, he was not only a wimp, but like he
Cavalier.
also wanted to be in charge. Like he was that guy. He was like,
right.
You're doing it wrong, but I'm a puss. So yeah.
Yes, that guy.
Okay. All right. Donnie Most. Couldn't find a picture. Tanya Gale Smith as Diana the Acrobat. Again, for us, like, hey, a black chick.
Representation.
This is definitely worth a watch. So yeah, she was Diana the Acrobat. Of course, the black person was acrobatic, but that's a whole nother podcast. Listen to the last one we just did. This was Adam Rich as Press. I thought Adam Rich was the Bam Bam Barbarian
Bobby,
dude.
you
I
would
don't know
think,
why. I didn't think he was.
Yeah,
like
right.
it just kind of seemed
right.
Well,
like
but
he
was that was him in 8 is Enough, which was like 5 or 6 years before this. So he was
that
grown a little bit.
A show that was on forever that no one I knew ever watched.
But I hope you're going to get to like this. Also had like the two biggest voice actors of all time,
James Earl Jones.
I hope
Frank
I get
Welker and
I think I'm getting there.
all right.
I think I'm getting there.
You're bearing the lead.
So
like
Presto,
these are more famous people, but like there's legendary voice actors in this show.
Katie Lee as Sheila the Thief. I don't think I knew any of these people's names besides the black chicks and Hank.
I knew that.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that. Yeah, Sheila was hot for 13, 12
She got
year
them
old me.
knee-high boots.
Yeah, girl, what's happening? Kind of hollow.
Hmm.
There's Bobby Teddy Field the third. I swore that was Adam Rich. If you had put a gun in my head, I would have said that was Adam Rich, and I did not know that. And what is Bobby? A barbarian?
The barbarian.
Barbarian.
So
okay.
I'm sure your research didn't turn this up, but there are 3 characters here who were not playable at the time. It wasn't
man, I'm about to say that too.
Unearthed Arcana was released in '85, where the Cavalier, the Barbarian, and the Acrobat became playable.
I need a drink.
And they were all awful. Like you couldn't play any of them because, like, the Cavalier could not run from a fight. The Barbarian could not be in a party with a wizard, and like the Acrobat was fine, but it meant you probably weren't having another thief, which you kind of needed for traps. So you see this party here, like, has no cleric. That's the price of having an Acrobat. You got no healer.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Now you didn't hit it.
Yikes.
Yes, that's right. These characters did not exist in the red and the blue book that I had in 1980 something.
Because this is the advanced Dungeons and Dragons era.
This is
producer.
super right. This was,
you need to understand. Like, this is not the basic set
the red edition.
We're in advanced Dungeons and
beyond
Dragons
that.
before the second edition, even.
Right.
But this is the first major expansion to the advanced rules.
I got one question for Brother Beavis. Did you ever play with Encumbrance?
Yeah, kinda, but not really. Like that's like the long litany of like rules that are not fun. So
right.
I would use it as like a tool to just be a dick as a dungeon master.
Right. And weapon speed.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. It's actually, if you dig into the initiative rules and the advanced rules, there's like a whole different game there, but
yes, sir.
Wow.
And spellcasting time
nerd,
advanced rules.
Super nerd.
Y'all are jumping off here. I'm like, who?
What? Yeah, I'm sure this part will just get edited out. And
no, that's not true.
It goes from the introduction.
If you get an extra $5, you can hear all this nerdy shit.
Yeah, all I know is my character's name when we was playing was Dirk the Daring after the Dungeon Dragon or Dungeon Dragon's Lair character. Like that was my dude. I don't know. Yeah. I think he was a paladin. Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Paladins
I think he was a paladin.
I don't know if we had paladins in that.
Oh damn! I don't even remember.
What was that shit? Keep on the Borderlands.
What was the force factor of your Dungeons and Dragons?
Keep on the Borderlands. What was that other?
He couldn't see yellow dragons, and he would like freak out. All right,
Keep on the Borderlands and Isle of Dread were the first couple.
What was that? I'll look it up.
Okay. So here's Frank Welker as Uni, the unicorn, and Tiamat the dragon. Like again, one of the more famous. Isn't he Fred from Scooby Doo? Is that his voice?
Is he? Yeah, and also I think he's Megatron also.
Okay, yeah.
And actually, I was looking at him the other day. Like he's like the third. He's made like the third highest paid actor of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's
everything. I mean, voice actors are such a thing now, like where people never paid attention to any of that because they were all doing the same voices, on every different cartoons. Like, man, why does, Shaggy also sound like, somebody else on some fake looking Scooby-Doo cartoon? So yeah, I just, but now like if you go to a con, the voice of freaking some anime character, the line is wrapped around the thing because people just want to go and meet the voice of,
especially
whatever anime character.
Especially the Japanese character voice actors. In Japan, they treat them like royalty. and
Nice.
at their cons too.
And then
Man,
Sidney Miller as the dungeon master. I got a lot to say about this character when we get later into this pilot.
you can.
But
It
yeah,
ain't gonna change.
but I think more than anything, what I do remember about it is that the dungeon master was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
The,
Um,
the dungeon master has to be a dick.
Yeah.
is that
Unfortunately.
part of the prereq?
So, do you have a Peter Cullen slide on here too?
I don't know if I do.
So
Hold
Optimus
on.
Prime, Venger, Optimus Prime, like another
Yeah, yeah,
legendary voice actor.
yeah. There we go. Yeah, and I remember I see that freaking
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, I see that Venger like figure at Target all the time. I'm like, man, it looks so sweet. And but again, I remember this show, but I
That
don't.
that should be
Yeah.
$500 in about 2 years to get all the
Yeah,
figurines.
after I won't buy it. Yeah, after I don't pay $7 for it because I'm cheap. Yeah, that's terrible. All right. So those are our voice actors, folks. As we're gonna jump into this episode here. I mean, because you just watched it, Magnum BP, Dungeon Master Beavis. Like, so you remember this show a little bit more because you just watched it.
Oh no,
But did you
this
have an
shit's burned
idea?
into my memory. I probably
Okay.
could like reiterate. So I mean, the ones that I remember are like Decion the Skeletal Warrior. There's one where they think Hank is a traitor because Venger's like he's hooked up with Venger, and they all like turn their backs on Hank, who was the absolute pimp of the show, and then he has to
Mm,
like he's like a bitch the whole time and has to save him at the end. Uh,
mm,
there's one I know where like Bobby falls in love with somebody. Uh, I just the ones I watched were where they had to like they teamed up with some chicken shit knight. I remember when they encountered Loth, the demon queen of
The spider,
spiders.
yeah, the spider.
I know there was an owlbear in one of the episodes. So not necessarily all the plots, but like scene after scene after scene. Like, no,
wow.
this was my shit.
So it holds up. You
I
saying
think
like
so.
it
I mean,
holds
it's
up
hokey
over?
as shit, but like it's I don't know, it was not insulting when I watched it. I watched like 3 or 4 episodes. I rewatched
It's
just
not
then.
Thundercats.
Oh
It's not
no.
Thundercats. No.
No. I'm assuming that I'll just save it for that. I'm assuming we're going to
Yeah,
do that.
that's gonna come up actually at some point in time during this little
Yeah.
run here. All right, so let's
No,
get to
I
the
thought it
share
was great.
screen.
Well, I guess I'll save my comments for when we get into it, but
Okay, so we're gonna get the share screen here. If you go to YouTube, they have their own YouTube channel for this show for
It's
Dungeons and Dragons. You look at
authorized.
mine. Oh, look at all my look at all my freaking cornets on the side here. All right, so I'll make this larger. Does this have a theme song?
Yes. Well, it has
It
a.
does.
Well,
it starts off with the
they're all at
carnival,
some
and then
type of
Bobby's like, "Look, it's a Dungeons and Dragons ride,"
right.
and
Yeah.
then they go through, and then he introduces them all.
Why did you just
They
play
get
it?
all introduced, and they fight
The
Venger,
roll
and so
call. It has
yeah.
the roll call.
So it's
All right,
more of a
let's jump.
voiceover like plot summary than a song.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's jump into it. Here we go. Should be no commercial here.
Try.
See?
Wow, neat.
Give me a break.
I don't like this.
I don't like
What's
this.
happening?
Whoa!
Where are we? Look
I
out!
hate it.
You hate
Fear
Uni,
not,
but
Ranger.
Uni's not. If you're gonna be saddled with
Barbarian,
a
magician,
sidekick,
thief,
an animal sidekick, Uni's not the worst.
cavalier, and acrobat.
It's not snark though,
No,
right?
no, not at all.
Benji. See, I thought Adventure and the Dragon was on the same
that?
team.
That was
Oh no,
Venger,
they had
the
beef.
force of evil. I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
Hank had that studded leather. He made that shit look good.
Hmm.
It's like we had technical difficulties.
Yes, the Dungeon Master.
StreamYard.
Somebody wrote a
is-
critical.
StreamYard
One.
is laggy as shit without trying to play video on top of it. So I'm not surprised at this development.
Right. Yes, it's too much. Too many people. Too much. Right. And you can't. Yeah, Wi-Fi ain't gonna cut. You gotta have a fairly nice running machine. When you got 2 people on it too. Yeah.
Mhm.
You got to be plugged into the matrix. But yes, well, I guess we're going to cut all this shit out. But yes. And did you used to sit around? It was more fun to make characters than to play almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, until you fail that first saving throw, they were the shit. But
That is correct.
yeah, I was excited about it when Unearthed Arcana came out. That was awesome.
Oh, everybody loved Unearthed Arcana, and one person would have it, and you got 8 people playing, and everybody's trying to make a character out of that book.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and you went to people's houses with 6 or 7 heavy ass books in your bag.
Because I think that's where they added weapon specialization. At that point, like all the fighter classes were awesome.
That's right. Yeah, that damn Unearthed Arcana, and then they had Oriental Adventures. What was that fucking module? I bought all the classic 2 or 3 modules that they made. The Vault of the Drow and shit. They were struggling with Keep on the Borderland. There's no way in hell they're gonna go through Vault of the Drow.
Hey, have you seen the it's a hardbound series called Original Whatever Remastered?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was some dude who had a book.
I'm back.
And this dude brought a hardbound book of the original Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, it was beautiful. It looked like the Bible almost. It was so beautiful. I thought he was studying to be a doctor. It was a damn D&D book.
We might have to do this like 3, 2, 1 push play, not simulcast.
Yes.
StreamYard cannot fuck with this.
It's something about honestly, I think it's my internet, not StreamYard.
I don't.
No, you think it's StreamYard? Fuck StreamYard.
You get every like 12th frame of me on here.
Yeah. It's definitely glitchy for sure.
Yeah, your picture's not even on here, Master.
I didn't.
To save.
Yeah, because it's understood.
Well, I mean,
I can't even browse for something while I have StreamYard up. It's that slow.
I'm going through all type of stuff.
Where are y'all at on your? Well, now you can see where I'm at here.
You're at 130 of 2, yeah.
2054. Okay.
But
all right. Yeah,
I'm gonna probably cut out again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Rosalie is watching something, so I knew immediately that once it dropped over there, we were in trouble. So it's okay.
Put it on my fucking lap. Hold on, I'm gonna put it on my.
Just in case.
On a desktop.
I'm on a desktop.
But you're still on the Wi-Fi.
Yes. You mean like plug into? I don't even know where my Wi-Fi plug
into the matrix.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we'll count down to restart here. And I'll edit all this out. I was going to post this on Saturday anyway, so we're good. I can check my heat score then.
They're losing.
What? Oh, I forgot they were playing in New York. Yeah, they were going to lose tonight. They're only down 19. Yipes. Damn, 19. That's awful.
Here she comes again.
All right.
Okay.
130.
Right. Yep, we're going to 130. All right, and I'm gonna do a 10 countdowns because I need that silence there to edit. This is my version of for Cornet. All right, we're ready. You got 1:30.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm counting down.
Hello?
Sheila,
right, back
can't you
in,
do
folks.
something about your little brother?
He's
And
not
they established that
bothering
Sheila
anyone.
and Bobby
He's
are
bothering
relatives, which I
me.
also didn't
I'm trying
know.
to think of a way to get us out of this freaky place and back home.
If there is a way home.
Don't worry, there is, and we'll find it. I hope.
Come on, Uni, you try.
Hank got some Aryan features, yo. Just saying.
Ah, leave Hank alone.
Tiamat.
Look, there. It's Tiamat the dragon.
Okay, so red dragons mean a thing, right?
Awaken me!
Oh, right. Leave her to me.
What'd you say?
Red
Bobby,
dragons
no.
are a thing,
She's
like there's something
indestructible.
Oh,
about
so yeah, these are the chromatic
Hey,
dragons.
dragon.
Red, black, blue, green, and
Barbarian.
white. Tiamat is the
Not if
demon
he isn't
or the
there.
devil queen of dragons and has one of each of them.
Hey.
She
Quick,
rules the
Sheila,
first
I know what
plane
to
of
do.
hell.
Okay.
Hey, Tiamat.
Oh, invisibility cloak before Harry Potter.
Now, Bobby!
The thing that got me was like,
charging off like
if they're a
that.
first level
Aw,
group,
sis,
their first
I could
encounter,
have handled her.
DM's like, all right, let me check this
I don't
out.
blame Binger for being scared of
Lizard
that
man,
dragon.
no.
Nice
Troglodytes,
maneuver,
no.
pupil.
Tiamat. Okay, here we go. Let's roll this up.
Where
It's
did you
initiative.
Oh,
They're
someplace between
Taking a Hogan in
there
your first
and
match.
here.
Yeah.
Listen, I've
Yeah,
had it
pretty
with
much.
your riddles. Now give us a straight answer for once. How do we get out of this world? Patience, Cavalier. All things have a purpose, including your presence here.
Riddling time,
Tonight
bitch.
is the celebration in the village of Helix. You will journey to the north for it. There you may find something that will help you get back home.
Now,
Helix
is
was
this
once at the
like
mercy of
like
flying
from an
dragons
actual
who
adventure
attacked
in a
at
book?
night, but good
I
magic
don't.
drove them
I don't
away.
think they're tying to
Now,
any
on
actual
your
adventures,
you
but a
must
lot of
kill only
they
the
tie in
many
a lot of
faces
the
of evil,
particular
all
creatures.
known
I could be
as
wrong.
Venger.
But, so like when they fight,
You
for
shall know
example,
his
they
newest
encounter like the
face
demon
by
queen,
his
lost
white
the demon queen of
tail.
spiders
Beware,
in like some
young
random cave.
adventurers.
So they throw
Wait,
in like the
Dungeon
actual
Master, you
stuff.
can't just
I
leave
think they
us.
were trying to sell action figures more than any like D&D stuff.
He's
So,
gone.
like they would put a monster in so they could potentially
I
sell
hate
it.
it when he does
I don't
that.
remember that there were like any toys
I'm worried.
for the cartoon,
Sheila, you're always
but there
worried.
were D&D
It's simple.
toys
The man said go north.
at this around
We
this
should
time,
go
but it was like a
north.
Diana's
separate
right.
lineup
It's
of
the
characters.
only clue we
It
have
was
to
like
a way home.
Strongheart the
We
Paladin.
have to try.
You remember those, Hutch?
Sir, yes,
Dude,
sir. And
yeah.
and Ralph Partha was in
All
Cincinnati.
this walking has been a waste of time. I'd trade anything for Dad's limousine right now.
I trade your dad's
Now, Eric is
limousine
rich.
for peanut butter and banana sandwich
Oh, yeah.
right
I
now.
know.
I'm
Remember
hungry
their
too,
income level.
Leave it to me.
Yeah,
I'll
he
produce
was.
in
some
the
magic
real world.
burgers.
The last time you tried this, we wound up with live turkeys.
Can I help it if my hat thought it was Thanksgiving?
Mm.
Abra, come here. Magic burgers up here.
Yeah, so basically Presto and Eric, and to a
Gee,
lesser
Presto,
degree,
I kind of like my
Uni or
burgers
the
a little
comic
more well
relief.
done than that.
Meanwhile, Hank out here handling
Very
business
fun.
with Diana.
Let's
and
keep
Sheila.
walking. There's got to be
So.
something out here.
Nice cow.
The Luke Skywalker.
According to
in
this,
shit.
we're somewhere near Merlin's castle.
Yeah, this is a lot of Star Wars
He's supposed to
and
be able to work miracles.
According to legend, Merlin can do anything.
other
Even get us
things
home?
they pull
If
from.
Merlin can't, no one can. Huh? Merlin's castle that way, but that's the way we just came.
We couldn't have missed it. Not a whole castle.
According to these signs, it should be right here. I don't get it.
I do. We forgot to look up.
Wow. He lives in a castle in the sky?
Oh,
Where'd you
great
expect
deception rule.
Well, before Merlin can help us get home, someone's going to have to help us get to Merlin.
Hey, look!
There's a lot of
ladder.
explaining in this.
Yeah.
Everyone,
I mean,
follow me.
but that's kind of typical for a pilot
Finally,
of
we're
any
gonna
show,
meet a
really.
real wizard.
Face it, Beauty. As a wizard, I'm no whiz.
Now,
Wizards
to
are
my
useless
knowledge,
about
like the
fifth
Arthurian
level.
legends are typically not represented in Dungeons and Dragons.
Wait
So
down
the
there,
fact that
Beauty.
they go to
I'll go
Merlin,
back for you.
this is pandering
promise.
to the
Yes.
mainstream
Wow.
audience.
My folks have a place just like this in the mountains. Wish I was there.
We forgot to mention that my grandmother would
Remember
be
what the
like,
dungeon
"Don't be
master
playing
said
that
about
Devil's
Benjamin?
Cave."
Recognize the guy with white hair.
Well,
Jack
that was
Rizzo.
the thing. Like
Hello,
can't
the
you just
latest
swim across
season
the moat?
Maybe you'd like to try.
of Stranger Things, like they
no
leaned
thanks.
into the
I've
satanic
never
panic
cared much for
angle hard.
skydiving.
That
This
show
looks
was kind of
like my
hard to
department.
watch.
Mm.
'Cause that was legit.
But I think there was some after-school special that actually starred Tom
She
Hanks
made
before
Well,
he was Tom
I don't know. It was
Hanks, right?
after school special. Yeah, there was.
It
It
was
was
a
a
movie.
terrible movie. It
Yeah.
was called Mazes and Monsters.
Right.
And the first thing, like, so it's funny. He shows
Hello?
up like at
Is
college,
anyone here?
and like
here.
he joins somebody else's game
you
and rolls out
You
like
know
his
me?
character
He's
that he
Merlin.
leveled up
He
in other
knows
games.
everyone.
And I was like,
Well,
bullshit.
we're headed for the
You
town
can't
of
just
Helix.
bring your character
He has
from another
white hair.
campaign and be
Would
like,
that I
all right,
did,
bitches,
Summer.
here I am. I
I
got
am
all
a
this
great
shit.
magician.
They're
but
like,
one
no,
thing
that
I
is not how
cannot
this
do
game works.
is
Yeah, they
grow
played.
hair.
Sorry,
And there was
Merlin.
like
We
there
were
was
warned that an
kind of
enemy
a
of ours
swerve in
just
it because
asked
they had
about
this
getting
one
us
like
home.
No
they had
need.
this one
I
Dallas
already know.
Egbert character.
You
That's
seek
the
a way back
Michigan
to your
kid who
birthland.
disappeared
Come.
in IRL and then like ended up killing
Many
himself.
great
So they have the
spells
dungeon
have been
master in the
cast
Mazes and
in this
Monsters
hall.
movie acts like he has this death
I
wish,
cannot grant
and so
you
he
the way
like
back.
leads them
You
into the
can't?
dungeon,
Oh,
into the
great.
sewers and
But
campus
I
to play
can
the
tell you
game,
where you
and they
are
act
headed.
like he's the one
Many
that's gonna
years
snap.
ago,
But
the
then
land
like
of Helix fought
Tom
back
Hanks
against
has this
one who would conquer
disassociative
them.
experience, and he
The
believes
defeated
that then
conqueror
he's his
vowed
character who is like this
vengeance.
priest,
Dungeon Master
and he
told us
snaps,
this
and it's all
already.
it's
Bobby.
awful.
Yes,
It's awful.
but he did
awful
not
movie.
tell you.
I would
that
encourage you to
Merlin
watch it,
appeared,
but
cast
Okay.
the
it's
spell,
not
and his
representative
good
of the game.
magic
Yeah, I've never-
drove out
I
evil.
never saw
The
it. I just
dragons were
remember
gone
hearing about it. There was like
Aw,
articles in the
brother,
newspaper and
and every
everything
year,
about like
Helix
you know
celebrates
being
the
careful your
defeat
kids
of the
weren't
winged
playing
terror.
that shit.
Yeah, because there
What
was
about
the
that-
kid in there was a
what about that
kid
kid
in
in Michigan?
in Michigan,
Now,
yeah,
if you're not
Dallas
gonna
Egbert
help us get
III. He
home,
was like this
I'm
prodigy.
leaving.
He went to school. He went to Michigan, University of Michigan, or
On
whatever,
second
Michigan
thought-
State. I don't know when he was like 16.
Oh
He
no!
was maladjusted, had a bad family life,
Hey,
and
dragon.
he was all fucked up. But he happened to play D&D, so that was his
You
problem.
don't scare
And
me.
that became the nerd.
Time you'll not
So
escape
he disappeared
me.
for a while, and he was found. They blamed it on D&D and claimed that there were all this whole cult playing in the sewers and all this other bullshit, and everybody laughed it off.
Quickly, we must leave.
That the dude
I'll
that was
keep her
digging
busy.
for Doug Bear, holes in his yard.
Get going.
I don't know about that.
By the way,
This way,
Diana the
everyone.
acrobat hasn't done any acrobat.
The pole vault.
Got our magic javelin.
That's yours. I mean,
I mean, realistically, like Hank was the only one. Well, no, I guess Bobby too. Hank and Bobby had the decent weapons, but then
Yeah.
like everybody else.
We're
just had
trapped.
other
There's no
stuff.
way out.
What about down there?
Everybody's pretty much defensive.
No escape.
Hmm.
Everyone help me.
Hank definitely has all the leadership skills. Now you look at
Okay,
this now.
Presto,
Hey, can
see if
you
you can
imagine
conjure up a
parents
carpet.
being upset that they
Carpet,
was watching
whatever you
this shit?
say.
Honestly, like I mean, there's nothing offensive at all about this cartoon at all.
Yeah,
did
it
it.
was just because people had heard like this
You
was
looking
the
for
devil.
somebody?
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's all-
Oh, there she go.
Did you? I do not remember until I
Now, that's
watched
what I
it
call teamwork.
10, 20 years later.
Let's
that
get
there
outta
was
here.
D&D and E.T.
Oh, Merlin, here's your rabbit.
Thank you, my child.
oh, for real?
But it's not a rabbit.
Yeah.
It's a hare. A white hare. You saved an old magician's life.
Saved your life? I thought you were supposed to live forever.
No, no.
Happy
I'm
Days was still
70
on the
years
air in
young, my lad. The
1984.
age where I
So this
begin
was
searching for
side
one
money.
to teach my secrets to. One like
This is side
this
money.
one. That one?
Well, when did 8 is enough go off the air?
Indeed. I saw your wizardry and was quite impressed. I can teach you all my
Is he
magic.
looking that up? Like,
But
I just,
only if you
it's
stay
just
here
them.
for
I
the
mean,
rest of your
man,
life.
you're looking at this. There's nothing like literally.
Listen,
This
if
is
Merlin's not
it's
going to help us
Scooby-Doo
get home, I say we
with
shove off to
a
that
dragon or
Felix
something.
place,
Like,
huh?
this is
Hey,
really the
Rick,
same.
Nothing
have to
up
wait
in
for
1981.
You don't think Presto would stay with Merlin, do you?
No way. Presto would never leave us.
Farewell.
Yeah.
Your friend has decided to stay and become my apprentice.
Well,
He's going to stay?
also maybe not
Forever?
having a little boy
Presto,
stay with
are
an
you
old
sure?
man or
I'm sure.
guy. That part might be a
can't
little
believe
offensive.
It's our fault, you know. Always making fun of him when his magic tricks backfired.
The Porky's come out.
Assistant, I need you.
Same year as Cool Ranch Doritos.
Later, we shall have to deal with the dragon you
We're
locked in
about
my
to
dungeon.
unravel the,
You with the
the
dragon?
shocking plot
How?
twist and
The
get Dungeon
answers
Master's
to
riddle.
all
Because
questions
this
are
is
contained in
definitely
this
the
book.
Dungeon Master,
Stir
right?
the cauldron until I
No.
It came out in
No,
1981.
I have not seen this show maybe ever.
Question.
You not seen it? You don't know.
This
you
is the
haven't
first
predicted
one.
the secret
There's gotta
identity
be
of Merlin by
something.
this point.
A spell.
No.
The mystery was you'll know him by his white hair, but wait, he's
This is
bald. But wait,
Let's see.
There's more.
Boiled bat's claws, powdered insect wings, petrified spider eyeballs. Yeah.
Look, Fantasia is more offensive and whatever than this is.
I agree.
Snow White.
he's got a white rabbit.
Oh no! This won't get us home. Merlin, help!
Nice. I mean, I wouldn't even consider this scary at 12 or 13 years old.
Merlin, I didn't mean to do it. I'm really sorry.
This is
You were
this
trying to
is
create
the-
a spell that
the
would get you and
cartoon
your
version
friends
of
back
Reefer
home,
Madness.
correct?
Yes, yes, I'm sorry. But the dragons.
Ah, yes, the dragons. I switched the spells. Only good magic could undo Merlin's spell and release the dragons. So I had to trick
Oh,
you
snap.
into undoing Merlin's spell.
Oh no, you didn't.
But you're
Tricked
Merlin,
him.
aren't you?
Merlin
Gotcha,
hasn't
bitch.
lived for 1,000 years. Fool! You
Would have gotten away with it.
know me as Avenger!
Oh my god.
No.
I will use the magic of your hat to add to my power.
Nice.
As my winged terrors destroy the town of
Yeah,
Helix.
you need an extra horn on
The
that helmet.
anniversary of the last
Yeah,
on
time
I
your
the
definitely did
dragons
not
attacked
notice that.
is
plot
now
twist.
our greatest holiday.
We were sent here to find a clue to help us get home.
In the meantime, though, your
And this was
friends
after
will
all the
enjoy
Hobbit
our
movies, right? All the
celebration.
Hobbit cartoons
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and Wizards.
Right. Also, isn't this kind of wild? They're like, oh yeah, you need to find a way to get home. Like this is
I can
like
see
national
great
shit that children
ways
just
in the
wind up in this
future.
magic
And in
world.
the
You gotta
future,
get
I
home.
see. Oh no!
Like, oh yeah, they're back
What
again.
is
There's
it?
another group.
The
You gotta figure out how to get them home.
Well, they open a portal to
still
get
don't know why
home
we
like
were sent
10
here,
times,
but
but they
at
always
least
have
I-
to tell them not
I-
to.
I do kind of remember
Merlin
the
died
Gilligan's
1,000 years
Island
ago,
version of
soon
this
after
show.
casting a
Like there
spell
were so many
that
times they
vanquished
could have gotten
Bender's
out of
flying
here and it didn't
dragons.
happen.
Merlin died? But we met him, and he said he was only 70.
Mayor! I saw them! The dragons are returning!
A lot of
Sound the
dragons.
alarm! Take shelter!
We have to go back and get Merlin to help.
I don't think that guy we met was Merlin.
But he looked like Merlin, standing there stroking his white rabbit.
Not his
Not a
rabbit.
white
His
rabbit.
hair.
His white hair!
Mm.
Dungeon Master said we
Jinkies!
don't found her by his white hair. We thought he meant hair like on his head.
Then Presto
Oh
is
no,
alone
you
with
didn't.
Bender.
We've got to save him.
Hey,
Find out how to
first
stop
level
these
characters are dumb.
Explaining.
Eric.
Yeah, but like, look, when it comes time to figure it out, you see who it is. Hank and the lady.
Clear the
Yeah.
town square!
Let's split
Evacuate the
up,
village!
gang.
Hurry!
Yeah.
Mayor, I think I know how to stop the dragons, but we'll need horses.
In the stables! That way!
Horses? We can't afford to lose no horses.
Yeah. Oh, I think she had on
Definitely
underwear.
Come on,
Tiny
Uni!
shot on the seat.
Oh! They gathered for another attack! This is not the worst
Yeah,
of
you
it.
might want to
The
look
legend
for some
says the final assault will
some
come soon, and our town will
bad
be
intentioned
completely
artists in this shit
destroyed.
too.
Benjamin must have
Yeah,
reversed
probably.
Merlin's spell.
The one that kept the dragons away.
Right, and we've got to put that spell back.
Definitely thought they were about to take the horses up that ladder.
Look at that hole in the castle!
I sure hope Presto's okay.
Boy, I really blew it.
Yeah, you suck.
Some wizard.
What's that dude from
First
freaking,
level
Presto!
wizard suck.
Hank! Am I glad to see you?
Yeah, that's
Merlin's
true.
not
Can't
Merlin.
He's got
with
one
the sleep
spell a
spell,
day.
Stole my
your
hat
ass
and all my
dead.
powers. Worse, he tricked me into undoing Merlin's spell.
The town of Helix is being destroyed right now. You've got to cast Merlin's spell again.
Me? I'm no Merlin.
And you will not cast another spell tonight.
Charlie
I
Brown.
have the
Right, he's
wizard's
gotta
hat.
rest before he
Hand
gets the spells
over
back.
the rest of your objects of
This is one of them
power.
things you cheer for the bag. Oh, the
We
acrobat.
can't do that, Venger.
You have no choice.
Bobby, use your club.
Whatever you say, Hank.
Hit the ground.
Bam, bam.
Hey, I got it.
That won't hold him long. Let's go.
What do we do?
Try to keep away from Venger while Presto works on Merlin's spell. We've got to put out these torches.
Let
This
me
is
give it a
sending
try.
people to hell. We need to stop this. We need to put an end to this. This
I mean,
is corrupting our youth.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there is literally
You cannot
nothing
escape.
offensive about this. For 83.
Wait, I know where Merlin's spell book is.
Presto and I'll make a run for it while you four try and keep him busy.
Keep him busy? What are we supposed to do? Tell him jokes?
Eric, Diana, I've got an idea.
This had better be one
Hutch,
terrific
look up when did
idea.
Happy Days go off. Donnie Most pulling
That it
double
was
duty
84.
I don't know if I
Yeah.
can do
It's
this,
up in
Hank.
84.
I mess up every magic
How do
trick I
y'all know that?
try.
You can do
I
it,
looked that
Presto.
up.
We've got to stop the
And
dragons
then
before they
Joey
destroy
loves
Helix.
Chachi, and Chachi
When did it
loves
go?
This
From
game
From.
is
Yeah,
ended.
the Chachi
It is
shit,
time I
yeah.
eliminated you once and for all.
Hutch, Fonzie was a damn teacher. Last time I remember watching it.
Dragon.
Tiamat the dragon? You're gonna let the dragon loose? Don't we have enough problems?
Eric, stop talking and start helping.
I don't believe this.
I think Sheila's like the second most effective. No, Diana's the second most effective person in this group.
I will add your magic to mine, and then destroy you and
Bender
your
was the
rest.
apprentice of the dungeon master.
Stay away from me,
I think
dragon.
the
Let's get out of here.
finale
You have
revealed
won
was
for
like his son
now,
or some
but
shit.
I shall win in the end.
Hey, them magic doors ain't gonna save
Presto,
you.
hurry! There's still time to save Helix, but not much.
Okay, here goes nothing. In the name of Merlin, in the time of sorrow, banish winged demons. Let there be tomorrow.
It's got magic in it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
But the
and then
dragons
people
are disappearing.
then
Got a
even
dude
now,
who look like a demon.
yeah,
I did.
At 11 o'clock in the morning
I thought I
on a
could find
Saturday
it. It's home.
before the
Yeah.
We
Lord's Day,
understand, Presto.
there could be some upset
Look, the
Christian
ladder's disappearing.
That's not all.
evangelicals.
Whole castle is
I
floating
guess.
away.
Now I'll never
I mean,
get my
again, I
magic
guess,
hat
and again,
back.
people do get sensitive about magic, even
I
during the
won't
Harry
say
Potter
that.
era here. People getting sensitive.
Lose
about that.
this, was it?
My
hat.
But still,
Hey, everybody.
this
I'm
is
back in the
as
magic
innocent as
business.
it comes.
Oh, great. Listen,
Well,
Dungeon
Bob is
Master,
more
while you're
offensive than
returning
this.
things, how about returning
Well,
us?
right, but right.
Did it again.
We've loosened up some things
I'll
and
never
got
be
tighter
that
on
good a
others.
magician.
Yeah.
Well, I know a place where they think you're as good as Merlin himself.
Yeah, Helix. That's right, Presto. In Helix, you're a hero.
I am? Then let's go. Climb aboard, Eric.
One of my worst Dungeons and Dragons
I don't ride
stories.
with anyone else.
is
I want to
I
speak my
spent 2
own.
hours making a
Presto,
fucking character,
here's something for
printing
you
it
to ride
up,
on.
all the equipment and everything, and that my character ran into a damn Beyonder or some fake Beyonder and got killed.
I'm not riding on any
2
cow.
hours,
No,
and that motherfucker got killed
I
in
don't
20
ride
minutes.
anything that gives milk.
You're like, can I bring
Hey,
you
come
back?
back here.
No. Negative 12 hit points. Dead.
Who asked you?
Nice. Yeah, all right. We'll stop the share here. There's nothing offensive about it. Will I go and watch some of the other shows? Probably. Just for sure. Now that I know that it has that YouTube channel, I actually probably will go and watch it. But like, I it I can't say that it holds up because I don't remember any of the episodes from before. So
Did
it's just
you?
kind of like almost me watching that for the first time. I only have like, glimpse
Is
and
it?
like,
It's
memories of the show. So,
it's the nostalgia of it is strong. 40 something years later, 40 years later, almost. Gee.
and so
Yeah.
for you two who again are still at least associated with Dungeons and Dragons as an adult,
Yeah. Thanks.
sorry, why do you feel there's a cap on like who fucks with this game? Like for sure, like there's a big cap on it, and they've tried to mainstream it. There's been several terrible movies, and now you have at least a decent movie, out right now. But I think the game, at least listening to y'all, is probably less popular than it's been, since everybody's playing that other one that y'all talk about all the time.
Well,
That y'all
yeah, I
Pathfinder.
mean, it depends on how
yeah,
you look at it. Like Dungeons and Dragons, amongst amongst a whole range of role playing games. I think role playing games now are way bigger, way more mainstream than they ever have been. But there's the market share is spread out. There's Dungeons and Dragons is not the WWF of the role playing game community,
Okay.
and they just recently like really almost screwed themselves over because
Yep.
they had been affiliated with the Open Gaming license for being able to produce product, and they tried to lock that down effectively to lock out Paizo, their biggest competitor, and that blew up in their face. So
Amen.
there's a lot of there's a bunch of different systems even outside of just the fantasy realm. So gaming in general, whether it be role playing game, strategy board games or whatever, is bigger. It's huge right now. There's a ton of people that game to one degree or another.
Stranger thing did a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So, all the stigma as far as Dungeons and Dragons specifically is gone, and I think riding the wave of just the kind of the larger gaming community in general.
Yeah. Well, I know there's the famous Dungeons and Dragons players that play it and that post about it on their social medias and whatnot. So like I think like you said, the stigma is gone. But from the layman perspective, like
Not in the black community. Quote
okay.
Yeah, there's not enough pioneers like Big Hutch that have
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Big Hutch and Vin Diesel, like those are the two.
Right. Yeah, Vin Diesel and Sofia Vergara's husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Vin Diesel's a Dungeons and Dragon dude?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
I didn't
that
know
Witch
that.
Hunter movie was his.
The
Yeah.
second his second Pitch Dark movie or Pitch Black movie is like he looked at that as a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
And that Witch Hunter too, the last Witch Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a D&D inspiration of his character.
Oh. Yeah, I did not.
But he was that guy that played like a half orc assassin evil character. Like he's that Dungeons.
He's perfect for that.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow.
But the appeal. Look, yes, I play. Oh, damn, I'm putting my shit in the street. I play once a month with a bunch of people that are close to my age, and I retired from cons or semi-retired. But yes, I've been to those cons. I've sat there for 2 hours making a character, and we play for 6 hours, and then fall asleep, and then get back up and do it all over again.
Mm. No, I mean,
and I still got my dice from 1980. Some of them.
So the movies and shows don't necessarily move the meter.
No, in the same way that like the MCU doesn't affect comics.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we're going to be going through some of these shows here and really killing some of our childhood memories. Y'all are supposed to pick shows yourself. I picked this one, like I said, because Adam Rich had passed away. Like that was that. So if you had a show, and probably maybe something that you haven't watched in a while, would probably be the suggestion. Like, man,
there's a reason why we don't. Them shows, from the memories that I have, none of them shows, for the most part,
don't think they're gonna hold up.
Right? They will not hold. There'll be 30 minutes of me like, damn, I watched this shit instead of doing
Okay,
my
but see,
algebra.
and I'm gonna spoil my choice. I think the correct version, Space Ghost, I think may hold up. Not Gleek, not with the Wonder Twin ones, like before that.
Was there?
I think it might
Was there
hold
a
up.
before?
Yeah, right?
I think it was just Space Ghost back in the ones that were made before we were born.
I
remember watching
or
Space
something?
Ghost and like the Herculoids and whatever else was on USA. That was kind of a rough slog.
Herculoid, Space Ghost, and there was one more.
Johnny Quest, was he in that block?
There was some. Was it a boy with a dinosaur? What that shit?
Yeah, I never.
But it's GI Joe. That would I don't know if anyone's throwing that. The GI Joe, Transformers, Thundercats, Dungeons and Dragons. If my old school, I used to love me some Blue Falcon.
Yeah, and Dynamite. I used to love that. I did too. And I know that won't hold up because Dynamite's terrible. We knew it then too. But
pre-Scrappy Scooby Doo.
Yeah, there's just some out there that I think
Captain Caveman. That was my shit.
Sir. That shit barely made it back in our.
Yeah, all the Scooby Doo ripoffs are just bad.
Laugh Olympics.
Oh, that used to be my shit. Hutch could tell you. That used to be my shit. I used to get real mad when my team didn't win too.
I only rooted for fucking Scooby Doo's team. When the Yogi Yahooies would win, I'd be upset. And when fucking
the Really Rottens,
they won twice, maybe. But yes,
shenanigans.
You talking about ruin your weekend?
You ain't lying. I don't believe this. I don't believe
this.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God. All right. So we'll come back to it. Y'all pick your shows. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more serial issues and jump into these. Because these are kind of fun. Like I said, I'm gonna probably watch some Dungeons and Dragons just because I don't remember any of it. So it can't get really spoiled since I don't know. But I think my choice is gonna be Space Ghost before Gleek. I think that'll actually hold up.
Wait a minute. I said that shit came out in the 60s.
Those might have been the only good ones then.
That is right, but that shouldn't even count because you weren't even born.
It was still on Saturday.
Oh.
There's a lot of shit that was still on. Then I'll call those Marvel superhero movies, or they were only showing fucking Canada.
I'll tell you, while they still had the actual villains, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends does hold up, in my opinion. Not when they were fighting the video game character and whoever.
Arachnoid. That's his favorite character. My favorite villain.
And then if horrible X-Men show up,
sir.
That was awful,
sir.
I think he's speaking of Australian Wolverine.
The Australian Wolverine,
the one, the origin of Firestar.
Yes, that's
yes.
Now the only downside of the other one with Thunderbird and everything was they were fighting some other video game character, some half robot bullshit.
That's terrible too.
But yeah, those old 1960s where they had Iron Man and Captain America and Submariner.
But those weren't on Saturday. It would be like the Fantastic Four, the one with Herbie the Love Bug.
Do you now? If I could come to this fucking screen and give you a D6 punch to the face, I would. That fucking Fantastic Four with Herbie the robot.
Yeah. That also got preempted all the time too. It was well, shit, this is the best thing
I called those
and it would get preempted too.
He called it a bomb threat.
Right, please don't show that.
Fantastic Four, there's a bomb.
I'd rather do homework, please.
So we've told this story amongst ourselves as we did the closeout here for the hour. So the reason that the Blacks stopped playing Dungeons and Dragons with Hutch. So we brought in I don't want to name check him because that's a bad one. But there was a friend that had started hanging in the neighborhood with us, and he had gotten into the game. So it's me, the Hallett brothers, Sandman, and this new person. And like there was I think it was a gauntlet and a girdle that was up for I don't know. Like we had won in a campaign, so who was going to? Man, I even remember the language. It was who's gonna get it after winning this campaign, and like we decided, high roll wins.
It was
and
either a girdle of giant strength or the gauntlets of ogre power.
Yeah. And this interloper winds up going high, winning this on the die roll, and he lost his entire crew of Dungeons and Dragons play, except the interloper. Like we all just quit.
Right.
Like, fuck that, man. I get my guard in the girdle. Like, fuck that. You lost it to this dude, which is terrible. So
that is and shit. Unfortunately, guess what? That shit still happens today. We're talking about
y'all took
all
your
the
dice
people together
and went home.
might add up to 50 years old.
Yeah.
I'm still playing with 50-year-olds that will still argue for hours about this shit.
Awesome. All right. So we'll come back to it, y'all. Maybe jump in on a Saturday here coming up. I think that might be a good idea. So as the producer of the podcast, I'm going to sign off. Go ahead, sign off, Dungeon Master Beavis.
All right. May all your 20s be natural.
For Pete's sake. That's awful.
Well, looks like I'll have a lot of Saturdays and Sundays available after this one.
Yeah.
Black Dungeon Master will roll for. Thanks.
Just not with your friends anymore. All right, Hutch, sign off.
Peace in the Middle East.
Good night, everybody. Peace.
I might have to throw down the gauntlet on this one. There's people that listen at my job.